Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts and this is True Divine 44. I appreciate you being here, listening, supporting by sharing, liking, and of course, subscribing. I do really appreciate it more than you know. So I just wanted to read out something that I was just meditating and it came up to being a thought that seemed to flow. And it sort of correlates to where we are at and psychically where I see us get into if we're not very careful regarding the divides being created. A lot of people on both sides of the coin seem to be very aware of certain divides, but then within their own side, there seems to be this unawareness that is being stirred up. And ironically, it's the same kind of division that they're fighting against. It's the same kind of division that I've spoken about a lot that we saw in World War II. And it's not just on one side. It is not the masked, people who wear masks, I should say, and their awareness, judgment on the people who do not and will not. It is on both sides, very much so. Unfortunately, I'm feeling an awareness that is coming up more and more that on the aware side of things as to what is going down right now, there seems to be this real blind spot as to where this weakness is going to lie and where this could lead to. It could lead to a bloody mess, quite literally, not the British bloody mess, but a bloody mess, in that this is the kind of evil divide that was created, manufactured, in World War II, starting to see people differently because of decisions they've made. Decisions that on the aware side, we should really be looking at and saying, really, for everything that we know, many people have been hypnotized, been put under a spell, have been fooled, have been coerced, pressured, have had their empathy played upon, their fear played upon. And so there's not one of us that can say throughout our whole lifetime that we have not been conditioned in one way or the other and therefore fooled by whoever is doing the conditioning. So through this meditation, it came up and it said, why do we not ask the right questions? I've had that for a long time. It's not about the answer, it's about the questions, and the questions being the right ones. What keeps us from clinging on to the stories of religion, creation, especially those stories that are void of love? Because I've gone on to say, for what is love? If not in part, the acceptance of difference. Sometimes that difference will challenge us. A part of us that is threatened by the difference, maybe a part of us that feels powerful because of the manipulation of society has created us to be so. But take away that manipulation and we are left with only the difference. But through the lens of love, that difference is blindingly clear to be only that, no better, no worse than either side of that difference. We fall in with difference every day. We fall in love with a partner who's very different to ourselves. Our partner is not an identical reflection of ourselves. Neither is a friend. Hell, even a mother or father is not an identical reflection of you. There is always difference that we compete with, fall in love with. Difference is seemingly a part of a very major part of creation, different components coming together and with their differences creating something. Even with all of that manipulation to separate and divide, those things break through. The difference and being able to love that difference breaks through, not in spite of, but because of the difference, love can bloom. The so-called mixed couples, the age gaps, the friends from completely different cultures, to name but a few. The power really is in our hands. It always has been, and it will always lie in loving difference. If not loving difference, being accepting of difference, being indifferent to difference that we cannot bring ourselves to be okay with. If we could do that, then the engine that emits all of the manipulation and divide and hatred of difference that we see today, and that does not reflect love, seizes up. It doesn't have any more oil. The components of it stop turning. The power of it ceases to exist. Will we ever realize this when we talk about wanting our freedoms? Will we ever realize that those who live freely have recognized that it comes from within, and it comes from being able to love the differences in life? So I just wanted to share that, and hopefully it hits home. It was just through meditation and automatic writing that it came through. I typed it up just to share it because I think it's so important right now. And from a psychic's perspective, from somebody who did call a lot of this shit, practically no subscribers, but the subscribers I had are my family now. And you all know who you are. This is, you know, something that I see brewing, and I really see it brewing more so right now. Maybe that's because I'm connected to the so-called aware side of things. But I'm seeing it brewing, and it's the danger zone of not civil unrest to go after the governments and the elites that are being so tyrannical right now around the world. But actually it is the brewing of this new form of racism, this new form of being prejudiced, this new form of fear of the others and certain decisions that these others have made for whatever means. As I said before, coercion, threats, fear, love. You know, a lot of people decided to take what they took in their arm from such empathy, from such a place of empathy. You know, you remember the drive of them saying, retired nurses, retired doctors, social workers, social managers, you know, we're going to have to pull you into this Armageddon. A lot of people jumped to attention, and because their job was never just a job, it was a vocation. It was a dedication to try and heal, to try and help. A lot of the good ones did jump in and make that decision from a place of not hatred, but love. And so we have to be really careful when we are saying we are on the aware side of things, and that we are using our wisdom to be able to intuit what is going on. Because this is a divide for sure, that the elites that have caused this want to happen. So don't play into their hands, because this is a very dangerous spiral. When we stop loving difference, this is what we see in the manipulations of, you know, this white supremacy, you know, BLM, you know, all of these things that have been hijacked, and there maybe it's not even the best examples, but you know, actual manipulation of people hating skin color, even though everybody's skin color changes in different climates that they're in, no matter what skin color they start off at. It's such a superficial thing. Through that, people have started to not be able to love the difference of cultures and accept the difference of those cultures, learn from the difference of those cultures and apply them to their identity, to their knowing, to their wisdom. So it's a very dangerous spiral, and I feel like it's another history loop that they're putting into motion to repeat. And again, these elites are just planting the seed. They're just planting the seed. It is the people that take the seed and water it and nurture it and make it grow. What do you want to grow in your garden, your inner garden? Because one way or the other, for what's already been done, each and every one of us is compromised. by somebody that we care about, somebody that we love, somebody that we honor, being on a different side to us now as far as society is deeming. So I have to be very, very careful, and yes, speak the truth about what these goons are doing to people. But do not take it out on your fellow woman, your fellow man, even children. Are we going to get to that point where we start treating children differently? I hope not, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. It's already happened many, many times before. So much love, balance, and wholeness. I hope this gives you something to think about that you can take forward for your greatness, for you to be able to apply it to your own individual life and love the differences of the people around you, the things around you, and that they can bring you even more joy and bliss because of that. So much love. Mwah.